So, welcome back everybody, and welcome back to the Redstone Quarry podcast episode 20. This time not cut off by Macromacomp saying his name.
Yay!
Also, a special episode is episode 20, so everyone...
Hooray! It's season 2 finale.
This finale, we should probably have made like a very over-dramatic promo clip for this one, no?
Yeah, we can make it right now and then just publish it at 5 minutes before 9.
It is the final episode of the second season.
We're not doing
Will
seasons, are we?
Enemy
No.
finally break up with Niels. Will, I don't know, something dramatic there.
Niels,
Will enemy
it's
break up?
over!
That's-
You're tearing me apart, Niels.
Yeah, stop pulling on my arm.
I was actually making a lame reference, but whatever.
Yeah, well... yeah, so I guess
So,
it's...
who do we have with us today?
Hey guys, it's me, Enemy.
It's me, not Micro.
And I'm Niels.
And I'm out.
Or
I'm
is he?
not out.
Is he
I'm
Wout without a doubt?
Sure, I guess. Show you my ID. Actually, I cannot because we're speaking in TeamSpeak. Anyway, this week on the schedule, we have a lot of stuff planned. Just kidding, we don't. We're just gonna go off the news as usual. More of basically the same. And it was a reference in which Enemy gets.
Yeah, we made it before. We've linked it even
Yeah.
in the
Really?
episode where we made it. So,
Yeah, we totally did. I think. Actually, I don't know.
like, basically exactly 10 episodes ago.
Oh,
right?
okay.
That's why we made the episode in the first place. The reference in the first place.
Well, basically, did you paste in the stuff from that 10 episodes ago? The
I
addition
totally
notes?
did. I totally did.
I sent you those 3 weeks ago.
You just paste them in the Skype chats as a nice announcement. Hey people, I made the notes. Yay! It's like, thanks Niels. That's nice of you.
Yeah, but you always paste them in, so.
But you're always on the account anyway.
I
Can't win this argument, Niels.
Your
I'm too
argument's
pro.
invalid, Niels.
I'm too pro for you. Sorry.
My
Stop
head,
it.
my head is a proof the argument is invalid.
Oh yeah, that's nice. So okay, I actually will reference that one. So what do we? Well, I was gonna chat again. Yeah. So I guess we should start with the follow-up for this week. Well, last week rather, I guess.
Yeah,
Boom.
I want to follow up because last week we talked about melon growth and melon farms, and I referred to I'm pretty sure we linked it video about how plant growth works,
We linked
Yes,
at least
we
2
did.
of them.
Yes, we
and
did.
I actually looked up how plant growth works, so to make sure I didn't explain it incorrectly, and to remove all doubt for all the people who didn't click the links in the show notes. This time we have 3 different ones, so if you don't get the first one and you're still unsure about after the second one, you can also watch the third one.
If the YouTube server for the first one is overloaded, you can watch the second one.
We have linked Wooby's video, which is a bit shorter. Then we have Daphne's video. He has like a nice little mod where he can show stuff a bit easier. And then we also have Septrocity's video. But the second and the third one, they show a bit more what the actual growth chance is. And Wooby just talks about it and how you calculate it, but doesn't show like for examples like what the chance actually is, as far as I can remember. So that might be interesting for those reasons to watch those 2 videos. I think hereby I did my duty in informing you correctly, and we can go to the next thing.
I'm pretty sure we've misinformed without actually knowing in the past before, but
If
Probably.
we did, I would really like to be called out on that so we can fix it, because misinformation is the one thing we don't want to do in this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, don't go, hey Micro, you misinformed everybody. Just kindly state it.
Yeah, I made a super cool item sorter with sorters that break, and yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Everyone will make it in, and then why is it so laggy? Why does it break? That's not good.
It is not laggy.
Nobody
dang it.
wants that.
I still find it funny you say, why is it so laggy? You're never going to build a single sorter and be like, oh my
No,
god, my
not a
entire
single
world is
sorter,
so shit.
an entire hall of sorters.
Well, yeah, but then people are like, well, yeah, you build big redstone stuff, of course it's gonna be laggy.
Yeah,
They
but
don't
it
know
can
it's
be
just, they
half
won't know
as
it's exactly
laggy.
the hoppers. But
Make the world's laggiest single sorter. Challenge accepted.
Just
I think
play,
this will be a root gold build machine then.
just play 1,000 zombies in there probably. No, should work.
Like a normal item sorter and then like
A time dilation sorter only works when it's lagging so hard that the item will.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
So
not
you
sure.
just have you give the item to 1,000 zombies, and one of them picks it up and goes to attack a villager. If the villager dies quickly, it's not as it's diamond swords. If it dies a bit later, it's the iron swords. Else it's
yes.
You have to do
like-
manual labor.
That would actually be really entertaining, like making a sorter off of that mechanism.
yes,
that-
it would also be horrible.
It would be
as hell.
overcomplicated and stupid, but it would be very entertaining.
For the Quarry stuff, there was the idea of making like you have to sort the blocks when they are not in item form, when they're still in block form, and ways to do it was like you could like just have Enderman steal all the grass,
Yeah.
and you could like the stone you could like run next to a silverfish spawner, so if it like turns into silverfish, you know that's the stone. And then
Yeah.
you would basically get left with all the ores, and like the ores you could also sort the redstone one out.
It's
And for the other
going-
ones, you cannot really sort them, as far as
It's
I know. Or what?
so
Yeah.
inefficient, so why would anyone do that?
Well, like the goal would be to not break your ores, so you can have like your precious ores instead of like, and later maybe fortune them or not, instead of like just breaking them normally and not getting as much drops. So that was the idea behind that. So if you, but yeah, of course, it's not practical in any way.
It's
Yeah.
still entertaining though, at the very least.
Well, I think we should get to the comments. So, Robbie Toby says, just a question, but is there some more progress on the movable block detection or quarries in general? I'm asking this because the Redstone Quarry podcast, this is the Redstone Quarry podcast, and I did not see much progress in the quarry thing. Well, the name is more, I guess, a name, as in, it doesn't mean
Yeah,
We
anything.
just
And if-
wanted a
and if
cutting
the-
edge technical
Yeah.
sounding name.
In the first episode, we kind of explained the name, and it was more of like quarries that are high tech stuff. And
Yeah, so it was more of a
That's why-
symbol of technology than it was a direct reference to our content.
and it is better than the Baffle Factory. So
was that one of our early names?
That was
That was
one of
the
our
other
early
one.
names, yeah.
Alpha Factory, okay.
In the beginning, the
think
Skype chat
think I
was
actually came up with a
renamed
TRQ.
so much times. So.
I'm pretty sure I came up with a TRQ just to get rid of that name.
Sounds quite accurate.
Oh well.
Uh,
So yeah,
Also, I guess we can add him to the Redstone Quarry work group, and you can get up to date there. I saw on a bunch of comments on Byron's videos when the Quarry first came out and so on that you said you had some ideas there, so we could add you there. For that, just post your Skype name in the comments, and we can do
Was,
that, or
post
do
it
a
yeah,
there,
personal,
and we won't
personal
abuse
message
it.
if you
Yep.
don't want to have it out.
No, put
um,
it there. I won't abuse it at all. Just give it.
just post a message in the YouTube inbox thing.
Wait a second, I actually have, no, just PM it. I also have access to the TRQ account, so that's
Yeah.
alright.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Did you just
Yeah.
say TRQ fan service?
TRQ account.
How did you get from account to fan service?
I don't even know.
Clean your ears, young man.
Will do,
Uh,
sir. Alright.
Okay, so other comments. Broom. Yewe has a pretty long comment, which is strange because
Yeah,
he's an
no,
iPad.
he pasted everything into one comment this week.
Oh my god. So
That's such a
uh,
rare feat.
I'm going
Yeah.
to try to get through all of this, and afterwards we can get through it, I guess. So,
Even though he did post them separately in the beginning. So.
oh, strange. I have a question because I don't want to seem stupid. What effects, apart from beacon effects and fire resistance, to use when you build the lava, not the lava Moses? And we already answered this. Just fire resistance, nothing else.
And we didn't even use all of the fire resistance. We had enough double chest for so that we can have 10
Yeah, but
people fire resistance at all time. And yeah, we
for
only
the
used
for the
it
Moses, right?
Mhm.
For
For the
Moses,
Moses, we did use fire resistance all the time because yeah, we were
Yeah, and
outside of the
did you
lava.
like the remainder? Was that used on the perimeter itself? Because you have fire resistance in there.
How do you
we
mean?
have like still like 12 double chests of fire resistance easy left.
Okay, so
like,
so basically what I saw, well, what I used during the perimeter was left over from the Moses.
we also like from effects, we also had like region 4 from the notch apples and so on.
Oh,
So like yeah,
Lifesavers.
when you also the absorption when you fall, like when we start at the ceiling, and when you fall there, you can fall quite far and actually die. So if you
Yep.
if you're quick enough, you
You know
can
that.
eat the notch apple before you hit the ground. Also,
Actually-
we use slime blocks. I use slime blocks most of the time. If you're good with like placement or have like an auto clicker, then you then you're guaranteed to survive basically.
Well, no, unless you land on. Well, actually, no, you're right. But it's hard to make it in time sometimes. Like I died.
Yeah,
with-
like if you scroll, if you
I
don't
think I
get quick
died,
enough
like-
to your slime block, then you're also.
Well, no, that
done,
wasn't
but-
the issue because if you log out and you log back in, your velocity gets set back to 0 for some reason. The thing is though that your damage is not calculated based on velocity, but based on time in the air. So, like that's the trick I had to use to fall at a low velocity, but actually I just still died. So yeah, but so using that you would be able, like if you log out really early on during your fall, and you relog again with 0 velocity, you should be able to eat a notch apple probably before you hit the ground. And also, of course, it would make the slumlock thing easier. Or it would allow you to just get your coordinates, then log out and have people place slime blocks below you. Which I should totally have done and get enemy to some slave work with the counter. But I did not, and I died 3 times or something. Oh well. So yeah, you can edit the comments with Google Plus app on iPad. I use that to find my comments. Everything you said about metadata is correct, thanks. One command add needs game rule push limited and /tick speed. Push limit would, and I personally don't like that because I don't know. Maybe you guys want to talk about this first.
It has a game rule. No, it's you can't.
Like,
Yeah, like the
Uh,
problem is if you have it as a game rule, and
And-
then it's like it's from server to server could be different and inconsistent, and then it's hard to work with every time.
yeah, like that's, you may as well say that redstone power goes 15, like 10 blocks instead. Like,
Yeah.
there are a lot. Then you basically change the properties of redstone, which would be fine, I guess, in between versions, maybe. Well, to some extent at least. But if you have it as a game rule, it's totally customizable and.
I made this, but you have
Yeah,
to
I mean,
use game
I'm-
rule for this, and
Oh,
then
oh my
I
god, we
also-
used the
and
we
then
built
you
a
will-
quarry, which is like super fast with the game rule push limit 100. I mean,
1000.
yeah, I mean you can just make it. You can
But-
just be like, oh, we push our entire quarry away.
problem with
Like-
that is if you make something for, that you find a tutorial on and it says, oh, you need this and this game rule, and then you want to make something else and it needs other game rules, you can only have this thing or the other thing. That's kind of stupid then. And if it's just in this version, they make it to 24, I don't know what, then that's better because then at least everything that you make in that version will be the same. You can just look up a tutorial and make that, and it
Yeah,
will
I mean,
work.
Think about it. The only thing which really affects, like, well, actually no, there are some things that affect gameplay, but like if you're going for survival, you typically wouldn't edit anything. So I don't know. Like tick speed, I guess tick speed is kind of useful, but
In testing only, pretty much.
yeah, like I wouldn't like to people putting it on servers because then I don't know how long my timer would have to be compared to real
Yeah.
life time.
You can
Um,
just check that then. So
No, because the thing is that once you go to high tick, like I ran tick speeds, I know 100 or something on my slimestone machines like a couple days ago, and it only went like 3 times faster or something because my processor couldn't handle anything more. So I mean, if it's once it starts to get laggy, it just gets capped by your performance, which means that, well, it's not like a constant anymore. You just have to measure
yeah.
stuff yourself, and that sucks because the only thing in Minecraft is that we want a reliable time or something. Often, like, okay, we like just for player interaction, of course. Like, player doesn't press this button for 1 second, this happens or something. Yeah.
But if you want to do timers based on a furnace that you have to smelt a sapling or something, it will still work. So
Yeah, everything will still work in relative to each other. But also stuff like player movement, I guess, would get quite slow in order to make it, or fast in order to keep everything the same. All other interactions like playing around with the panels mod, they really start to notice some stuff like you can't really properly play stuff anymore because like basically if you press it for a bit too long, it won't just place one block, but it will place a second block after 0.1 seconds or something. You don't notice that with a short click normally, but once you go, you have to take speed 3 times higher. It actually often exceeds that 0.1 second. So yeah, kind of stuff that's happened. So they would probably, if they were to go and do that, they would probably, if and they want to have it user friendly, they would have to change a lot of values to make them relative to the tick speeds to make like value stuff considering play interaction. Well, yeah, we should probably move on. Yeah, okay. Well, animate for 8 hours. Good luck with that. Nody has a macro for his nice. We also think so.
Nice.
And a bit of personal comments. Like, sorry, but I don't think we can really go into the personal stories. But we will read it. So yeah, but it's just a bit too long to go into in the podcast. So now, Marin says at the time of this comment, the show notes looked like this. Show notes. Wout pays this in capitals. And then he goes to give an artistical analysis for 2 paragraphs about basically how it's a satire of use of caps on YouTube as bait titles and how the collapse of our society into consumerism and that kind of stuff.
We have I've set something up that it will do the most of the stuff from the description will do automatically. The only thing the show notes Wout does the show notes, so Wout still has to paste them in when I upload it. And I don't know, I just put there Wout paste it in, so he will see that. And this Monday, Wout forgot to do that in time. So.
Bad way.
Yes. I was playtesting Cube's maps. Well, not his maps, the math science student.
Normally you paste them in the afternoon, I think.
Yeah, but
when
like,
I'm home, they are.
When that they work out? I probably was kind of tired that night. Yeah, I didn't sleep too much. I don't know what I did the day before. Okay, so I went college, got lecture, home, probably did nothing. Did some slimestone probably. Then I was like, oh crap, I want to play these maps on stream. So I went to that stream, did the maps. Then it was late, and I still had to like make my actual feedback from the notes I wrote. And did that, and then afterwards, and it was midnight, and then I wrote my comments. Not comments, show notes. And then I didn't study for physics, and I blame you, Niels, for my bad test.
Yeah, Niels.
What the hell, Niels?
It's my fault now. Yeah.
It's all your fault.
How it works, right?
Yeah.
Always.
Well,
because I said paste it in, that would only take 1 minute,
basically.
Surely.
Well, basically, I didn't have them. That's the thing. I didn't only have the notes from the podcast itself, from doing the podcast itself. Yeah, that's how that worked out. And I will try to get it done earlier. Maybe someone else, Macro, will have to do it in future. Maybe.
I'm gonna be enslaved. Help me.
Oh.
I know what Micro is going to say, not me.
I wasn't that active on Twitter. Well, I tweeted this week, which is like...
Yeah, that was the most active he's been.
And he tweeted #happy for Wout.
Yes, because apparently I'm very happy. Or I need to be very happy.
Because Wout's happy.
Well, Wout was like...
No copyright.
I have to make like a 1,000 subscriber special because that's gonna happen soon. And I was like, I'm happy for you, happy for Wout. And I to show that I'm not sarcastic about this, I tweeted it. And it got, well, it's a trend we're starting now. So if you're also happy for Wout, feel free to use
love
hashtag
and be happy for him
Wout.
as well.
Okay.
I
will just call it my secret project from now on to not refer to the 1,000 subscribers and the happy for Wout bar, because that's
You're
I want
happy
to
for
be
Wout
support.
project, okay?
Always be happy for him.
I started
No
working on it
exceptions.
like over a month ago. I got back to the project, and back then didn't even think about it. But now I'm like, this will probably coincide, so let's make a real cool video out of it. Considering it's a real big project. Yeah, that's good. That's gonna be, but I'll just call it the Secret Slimestone Project 101. Alright. Yeah, I guess that's it for the very important Minecraft news with enemies Twitter feeds. Also in his Twitter feed are all of my tweets, which you should probably read out loud right now because they are very relevant to Minecraft news.
Very highly relevant.
Very
this
highly.
is not what did Wout post on Twitter this week.
I don't know.
We
We should make a podcast for that. Yeah.
Yeah, make your own
we
podcast for
just
that.
I just read my Twitter feed out loud every week.
And 90% of the tweets would be him either responding to like Nordy or me.
I don't
One.
think so.
Blah, 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 blah. 2.
Typically it's me complaining about something in my ICLM news or what happens viral or I still
You're such a
haven't made-
complainer.
I still have to put the joke from Friday on Twitter because it was too funny. Damn it, I'll put it on Twitter right now, and people listening on Tuesday will know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
If they follow me and if they are stupid enough to read all my tweets. Now, we should really move on because it's getting way too lengthy.
Only a
alright.
little.
Only a little. Now, I guess there's nothing real non-YouTube news, so we get straight to YouTube. And I am scrolling through my feed right now.
Scrolling through my feed.
See,
Rolling through your feet.
scrolling through my feed. Oh, I see a challenge by someone.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy who thinks it's funny to make challenges which he hasn't even solved himself.
Honestly, help me! I suck at this.
Wow, I'm gonna start crying now. Alright, well, basically what the challenge was is I basically was like, hey, I know this is possible, but I want to see how fast you can make this and how compact you can make this. So I built, or I mean, not built, but I kind of set up a template and you had to power a quad piston extender, which extends a quad piston extender. And then the rules are no slime blocks and you can only power it from beneath the iron blocks. So yeah.
Best got to be flush with the floor.
Yeah. But I'm not
Uh,
really savvy with redstone terms, so
So
Right.
maybe we should also give the best response to it in the notes. So Micro, you choose one of your best responses you got, and you're totally not under social pressure by your friends right now.
okay, don't hurt me.
What is the best one?
That's a tough one. There are some pretty good ones.
Not Wout.
Macro, there's obviously one which is way better than all the others. You have to say it right here on podcast. I am very
It is not
insecure person.
Wout's.
Dang it.
But Wout's was pretty decent though.
Of course it was. It was.
It was huge though, like
It's decent
gigantic.
enough.
It was already late. I was like, well, I worked on other slimestone stuff today. I was like, oh, let's quickly do this challenge, and then it took 2 hours to get it fixed and everything.
Oh well. I'll link as well. I'll probably set up a playlist to all of the quad piston extender challenges that have been posted on YouTube. You guys will like it.
Or else.
Else, we can give him Macro's address and name and state where he lives.
And
which
social
he
security
knows.
number.
Yeah, I don't know about
Yes,
that.
exactly.
Do we have that?
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
get that. It's the internet.
Let's see. He's using version 3.0.16 of TeamSpeak. Yeah, but that's the number.
Wow.
And
Wow,
he
the stalker.
he logged in 42 minutes and 8 seconds ago, which also is probably the number somewhere. But this is the internet. All the info is on your Macro.
I'm being stalked. Help me.
Help you. Yeah, totally. Alright, no, other stuff this week. Boom, like Megastone released another concept, and yeah. Well, I'm personally not a huge fan of complex concepts anymore. I thought I just mentioned it because a lot of people
What
do seem to find it
concept is
interesting.
it?
The
Uh,
Iron Man one.
Yeah, the Iron Man. So basically, I'd say it's interesting how he flies in the direction he's looking at, because it's kind of hard to get such stuff going. Like, the main way to do it is, as far as I know, just to have a command block set up for every little, like, interval of 2 angles, which is, I actually wrote a filter back in May, which generates command blocks, which, using some given commands to basically do stuff like throw something in a given direction you're looking in or something. But yeah, I actually didn't look into his explanation because I was busy, I guess. But so yeah, that's kind of weird. But the main thing I think we take away from the video is that Crush Pixel is a freaking liar. He's raising money on his Kickstarter for the replay mod we talked about last week. But apparently, Maki's video was already recorded with an early beta from the mods. So
He's
then,
lying.
well,
Where is he
Maki
lying then?
Maki says it, and Crush Pixel also says it. So
What,
yeah,
what,
I know
what
the
part is a
difference.
lie then? Like,
well, why is he raising money on Kickstarter? Yeah, like
Have you
normally
read the entire Kickstarter?
normally you say I raise money to do something, and then you do it, and then
Wout.
you deliver.
Lots of
Yes.
Kickstarter things are I have something, but to publish it in the entire completely, I need more money for this and this, and that's also a reason for Kickstarter, because in the description of this Kickstarter, I'm not sure exactly what it says exactly, but he wants to have a site where you can share your replay mod files and stuff like that. So it's not entirely for developing the mod, because it's mostly working or beta working or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
You should do your research.
I should do my research. Thanks, Niels.
Yeah.
Thanks for driving my confidence into the ground.
What's the
It's probably
confidence?
What? Did I say confidence? A confidence?
No, I was just making a fail joke.
Ah,
Things I do too much.
okay.
There were also a bunch of other interesting things this week. For example, Samasaurus 6, which we talked about in earlier episodes because of his planetary confinement map, started a new series called Modeling Minecraft, where he shows and explores what you can do with block models, like what programs there are and what block models are and so on. And the first 2 episodes of that are already out, and I hope that more people in the future for adventure maps and so on, or mini games, will use block models, because you can do a lot of stuff with that.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, like he has some in the first episode. He has some block models to like show what block models are and what you can do with them. There's some really good examples and really cool examples as well. Dang.
Well, enemy, thanks for filling up the gap right there.
Now, when you
Samasaurus.
said something, the silence finder won't find that spot and it won't cut the silence. So
So it will
Well,
be
so
even
the
more
next time when
awkward.
I'm done with like my sentence, I'll just stop and no one will talk for like a minute and then we continue. Is that better for the
no,
silence
because
finder?
the silence finder, I think it only reduces the silence by cutting out 2/3 of it, but
So
we could still keep it silent.
okay.
Well,
I don't know what settings I use. I just run it. That's it.
moving on, we have a video by Redstone Jazz.
Yay.
Oh, who wants to talk about it? Actually, I have
What
2
one?
videos, but
Niels does.
the early one, the 216 by 216 generated door. People, get your door.
I don't
properly
believe
set.
it. I want to see the full cycle of it.
It's 13 hours.
I don't care. I once viewed a video.
Like, if
that
he runs
was
it
13
overnight, he
hours
still
long.
has to keep his computer free for like a couple more hours to record it fully. Showed it for a section, and from there, it's just repetition.
No, the entire thing. Oh, I don't believe it otherwise.
I think you should get Banner stick speed mods.
You could just like take the word
Why?
of it and check
To speed
yourself,
it up?
Niels.
Well, yeah. I mean, the reason I asked Panda about it was because I want to speed my slimestone up because it's freaking slow. Slimestone is kind of slow. Oh well. But yeah. So we should probably talk about the door actually. So what it basically what Yasmin Jazz did is he took a random design called the verbs.
Random.
I'm pretty sure it's the 1 hour verbs.
Yes, it
I
is.
think. Oh well. And he totally just ripped it off and without. Okay, he did give credit, but he did it near the end, and he also admitted. I talked to him about it in the comments, and he also admitted like, yeah, I'll do it early on from now on, because I mean, I don't want to be arrogant, but this entire design kind of is based on the idea of being able to reverse your engine at a certain point. Because if you can't reverse it at a certain point, then what was I trying to say? So if you
It
can't
won't
reverse
work.
yeah. So and you can't really do that with static slimestone. So I guess that would be, as you say, it's a fun application of the verbs, which I have to laugh about a lot.
I like
Alright.
For
verbs.
reasons later explained.
Yeah, Wout, can you please tell us what verbs mean for people or listeners that
Oh yeah,
don't know?
it's a vertical engine reverse and bidirectional shifter. The end. Maybe I should explain what it actually does.
Yeah, we can probably talk about that. You made a video where you showed all these this week.
Wasn't that last? Well, okay.
I think you hinted it last week, but you like it came out before after recording before our podcast was published, right? Something like that.
Yeah, last Sunday it came out. I recorded actually. Yeah, I recorded a couple days before you beforehand and tweeted it, I think. Anyway, so yeah, basically I made 3 different verbs, which we should explain what they do. Okay, so a verbs is a machine which takes a bidirectional vertical engine and reverses it once it enters the
Basically
machine.
the name.
Yeah, and it also once it after it has done that, it also moves itself 1 block up or 1 block down depending on the setting. And 0 or 1 or 2 are refers to the amount of cycles it takes to reverse this engine of the actual verb itself. So whether it's going down or up for each cycle.
So what
yeah.
does the R stand for?
Reverse.
Oh,
Basically.
okay.
Like reversing. I never like I've thought of different words like reversing space, reversing cycles, reversing something, and I was like, oh whatever, it's about reversing. So let's just
If we have
like that.
it like this, then we have a cool abbreviation. So let's name it like this.
Well, yeah, like the thing is, I'm not like I went for verbs because have you looked at the real name? BBE reverser and bidirectional shifter. That was your old title from the still the title of the old video, but that was getting too long. So yeah, once you have to build a circuit to reverse the verbs itself, you have to call that the 0 reversing cycles. I don't know, like 1 reversing cycles, vertical bidirectional engine reverser, and bidirectional shifter reverser. Static reverser, actually. So yeah, it's not gonna.
So you just call it the verbs.
Not
yeah,
really.
well, it's just you can as well just take random letters from the alphabet probably to get something. But yeah, I like acronyms when it gets to this kind of stuff. I could also give them cool names like the Strider or Mega Gargantua. But I don't know.
Or Bob.
Yeah, or Bob. Actually, I'll talk
Big
about you
slimestone thing that can walk.
Spock remind me to talk to you about Bob after the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have so we have the 216 by 2. I'm trying to keep up with the show notes, else I'm gonna miss stuff again, and Myron's not gonna be happy. But generated door.
You don't want
Yes.
an angry Myron, do you now?
No,
Yeah, I don't.
really don't.
And he's going to give another artistical analysis. Okay, so I'll link to those videos. And the thing with Jazz Door does is using that. He has an engine which constantly goes up and down, and depending on its state, it either goes 1 block lower every time when it's trying to fill in the door, or it goes 1 block higher every time when it's trying to remove blocks from the door. And basically what it does is it has cobblestone generators at the bottom, which place cobblestone on these collectors, you could call them, and they move the cobblestone up and leave it behind in the door space, then go back down because verbs reverses it, and they get more cobblestone, and they go 1 block lower, they leave it behind, and so on. And to open it does the same, just goes higher every time, and instead of getting the cobblestone from these generators at the bottom, it actually deposits them onto these conveyor belts, which are going to a single window chamber, and we just show the cobblestone. So what you basically have is it's actually a flush door, you could say, but it has jagged tops, jagged top. So normally you retract or extend a rectangular area with the door. This time it's like you have these, I don't know what to call them. Like I call them, I guess teeth would be a good name. Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
yes, you could say that.
Well, like I don't know, maybe I'm going too deep into this, but so you have teeth.
Oh, that's fine.
Behind there are holes, so I don't think that would really work for a door. But I mean, it's an interesting concept, and I definitely think you should have made a video. But it's just hard to name a door like this because it doesn't even fit the standard definition of a very basic door because of some of its issues. But it is definitely an interesting concept. We should definitely talk about. Okay, your guys' thoughts.
Well, it's a good use of your verbs.
Yeah, it's a very good use.
But I don't think you intended that use, right? Or that wasn't why you built it. You had some other uses in mind, right?
Yeah, sure.
What would be those uses, for example, just to like?
Well,
like
what it does, like I discussed this in the video. It's for the project.
Yeah. Okay. For the project. That's all you're gonna say. Seriously.
Sorry, but I've been working on this
Okay,
for like a
okay,
month or something
okay.
already.
Yeah. Okay.
It's for the project.
Yes. And the
The
project needs a
project.
machine which reverses some vertical engine and moves itself 1 block up or 1 block down every time.
Not even a teaser.
I gave
The machine,
teasers. I gave
2015.
last week. I gave a teaser for.
Oh,
The
no,
verbs
proj-
is the teaser.
No, the project 2015, like this.
Gave a teaser for an interesting bidirectional slimestone concept last week, which will also be incorporated into the project because I need it. That's why I built it. And I was like, whoa, I can also make a standalone video about this. Like basically, what I'm trying to do right now on my channel is one, creating interesting videos, and two, saving me a ton of time in my explanation video by just referencing the videos I made a month earlier. Like this thing will be fucking long to begin with, so yeah.
Oh, I have a slimestone challenge. A flying machine that goes up and then goes right and then forward and then goes up, right, forward, and just keeps on doing that until it reaches build limit.
I don't think that's. And it's just upright for. So basically, it goes like diagonally in all axes.
Yep.
But one way. That may actually be possible because it's just unidirectional, but I don't really think so myself. But maybe. Oh well.
Well, if
so,
any of you want to try, feel free to post it in the comments.
Yeah, so that will be Macros challenge for you
Number
guys
2.
this week.
Number 2.
This time build by Macro or beforehand maybe.
Well,
Possibly,
Well,
maybe, question mark. I can
maybe-
barely build a one-way flying machine.
okay, we could make it like this. You could our listeners can have the challenge now, and maybe like a week or so, you can make a video about it, and everyone else can try. So our listeners have a head start. That would be cool, right?
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would totally be a way to advertise Redstone Quarry podcast, which some people want me to do.
Niels.
What? Enemy.
Micro.
Enemy.
Wow.
Oh, you should say Wout then.
I
That
said
took some,
Wout.
yeah, that took some time. I was like, well, you guys like me a lot.
What are we doing? Saying random names, or are we?
Basically,
so.
I'm looking at my feet right now.
I guess we could go to next interesting thing that I saw or we saw or happened this week.
Someone saw.
Someone
ECU
made
it saw.
someone made an interesting video. We're gonna talk about it now, and this
Which is?
someone is Koala themed, and he made a machine that builds machines.
A machine
uh,
which build machines.
Yeah, machines building machines. That's
Now the
title
real
of the video.
question is, can you build a flying machine that makes a flying machine?
Well,
Yeah,
like
that sounds
his
a bit
machine makes flying machines
But where do the blocks come from?
from the machine. If you
And
haven't seen the video, I just link it just
Yeah,
now,
this-
so you can look at
It's
it.
kind of goes against like conservation of mass typically in Minecraft.
There's
Well,
command blocks, so you don't need that.
No, like
Yeah.
it won't work infinitely, but if the machine is stocked, it will make flying
Like-
machines until it's empty, I guess.
Like
And,
basically, it has a cartridge, and it just keeps on making flying machines until that cartridge is empty in a way.
Yes. And
But it's not infinite damage.
he has those flying machines are basically missiles. They have like what was it, like
Missile
10
factory.
around 10 TNT on them, and when they hit the wall, they don't do anything. But when the second one comes, that will trigger, and
Oh,
they
that's
both blow
cool.
up, and yeah, they basically dig a tunnel more or less. And yeah,
Honestly, I think it would be more efficient if they blew up on their own.
well, I'm not sure how hard that would be when you try to build them, because you might run into issues when you move them around. But like what I found very interesting is like to get like the spacing correct and so on for like the between the pistons. Like in most slime machines, you have like a space where like the slime blocks move and then grab something and so on.
Yep.
And he just had sand in there, and when he pushed the flying machine place where it actually got assembled, all the sand fell down, and he had like his correct layout basically.
Yeah.
Then all he did is he attached the redstone block from on top, and it also activated the flying machine. Yeah.
I'm watching it now. It actually looks really cool.
Yeah. Do you guys think now that the idea quote unquote is out there, will there more people be doing this, or is this something it's not really?
Well, it's a nice
Well,
challenge, but
It's another of those things where the concept is cool. It's a cool thing, but you probably won't build it anyway.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a lot of practical use.
Well, if you want to dig a tunnel, you don't want to do it
Yes.
manually. Like If you have too much TNT and pistons and stuff.
Too much TNT? No such thing.
Yeah, not really.
Well, yeah, but still.
Well, on video I saw this week, and I think most of you also saw. In fact, I think it was today, was the Minecraft Rotor by Pi,
Yes.
whose
I
full
saw
name
that.
I will not put in the show notes.
I'd like to see you try.
What name?
Pi 34159
Oh, three. In Dutch I know it
2 6
quite
5
far.
3 5 8
3,1
9
4
7
1 5 9 2 6 5 3 5 8 9 7 9 3 2 3 8 4 6 2 6 4 3 3 8 3
Well,
2 7 9 5 0.
his name stops before that.
Yeah, I know.
probably. Maybe not. Maybe we just have long numbers in Dutch. Enemy, you inconsiderate bastards. Fucking scum.
Yeah, that was just the first digit.
Yeah, maybe we just have a real long name for into the 1978
That's like the point one.
Yes.
Okay. I'm
No,
sorry
that's
then.
the
Let's
first half
continue.
of the tree.
And if you write a 1 before or after the decimal point, you should make it a bit differently. Like 1 before is just in, and 1 behind is what I just said.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry then. Let's continue, please.
Yeah,
No,
Continue with what?
Taking Pi.
the
Okay.
rotor. Well, tell us what the rotor is.
So Niels had to continue by telling me. Okay. Yeah, so the thing is that apparently this was mostly designed back when we had no good Underpole status chambers yet. Right now we do. So I guess we will link to test. I think we should also link to UR's design because basically UR did it first, and then Tess was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna make it simpler," and he did.
That's
like,
exactly
or
what he
something.
thought.
Well, like he was just like, "Oh yeah, did it. Oh yeah, I actually have this machine laying out in my world. Doesn't use water. You can just put your underpole out here and it says there." And I have to say, I like. Well, UR's thing looks a bit cooler, but it's just not as practical because you have to swim through water and that kind of stuff. So if I built a teleporting network on our server sometime, probably not, then we would probably use tests the holding chambers, which. But anyway, we will link to both of them. So I thought with yours because this video was first. Yours.
Do you guys also had the problem with your video that you cannot watch it? Because it's like in certain countries people cannot watch it, like for example
You
Germany.
mean if you are in Germany and no other country, you can't watch it?
I'm not exactly sure if, but I think
Yeah,
other
I think it
countries than
was, actually.
Germany are affected. And that's really weird because like that is not for any of his other videos, and I tried it with Tor and stuff, and it still didn't work.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, I have to say, but
I also asked him once. He doesn't know what it is. He didn't intentionally do anything.
yeah, and it's kind of funny because he's German himself, and I think he can't watch it. The video is fine though, so yeah, we'll link you to both of those.
And if you use a proxy from from the Netherlands or what?
Haven't tried that. Yeah, I guess if you download it, yeah, you always can watch it, right? So.
Well, can you down? I mean, I
Well,
don't
there's
think.
like YouTube to MP4 converters and stuff.
Yeah, but if it's oh, like those. So but then the proxy has to be located in the right place in the server, which for the service. It's not like an average download. We just it's on your browser and it allows you to easily save files which get downloaded, like videos and images. Well, images are easily to save, but the videos not necessarily. Anyway, where were we? So, okay, with that context in mind, Pi's video was made before that. Well, no, the video was made, but the majority of the machine was made before that. He just decided to release it because it looks cool. Basically, what it is really weird. He uses this zerotic pulse circuit around 1 point, basically where he has blocks going around. Well, in fact, let's just start with 1 block going around. He uses zerotic circuits, which instantly move the block away from the position that he was in earlier. However, what the rest of the piston, so the rest of the part which get pushed, the part of the component which was the front of it, as far as I know, does not get pushed instantly. Instant pushing only works for 1 block per piston, basically. So as a result, the other blocks are kind of still waiting to be moved. And like what I got from the video is that he basically messes around. So because basically those pistons are a block is moving for 0.15 seconds after being pushed by a piston,
You can say 3 game ticks. I think that's easier to understand.
Yeah, so 3 game ticks. You can just have every game tick. You can have one. You can basically have a ball come to a standstill and push it again, without and then you have, if you have nothing mobile and if you have no other balls around it, because that's what affected, of course. And if you have, so if you have, basically you can have, what he did shows in the video is 3 of these balls, which he's constantly pushing around as in a rotor movement. So he's constantly rotating them basically. It looks really cool, like, because you can actually see the balls clearly rotating, even though it's Minecraft. But yeah, as far as I understand, it's done by basically having them arrive into their new positions, all in different points during different game ticks, and instantly pushing them away again, so they are mobile again and do not hinder any other movements. If I understand correctly. Probably not. I'm not sure. Amy, you have anything to comment on that?
I'm not like, from what I got, it's like it takes 3 game ticks to move the piece to a new place, the block to a new place. But after the first game tick, the space where the block was is already empty.
Yeah.
And he just like already pushes the next block in there. And as soon as the 3 game ticks are over and the block is in a new space, he already pushes that one again. And that's how he gets those 3 slime blocks not to stick to each other, because they're all moving the whole time.
Well,
right?
Yeah. Now, with that in mind, I think we should get back to the part about the Underworld status chamber, because that was the purpose of the machine actually. Well, I guess is basically to have these slime blocks constantly rotating. So on one part of the, like, I guess, circle or whatever you call it, slime blocks are constantly going up, and you have like every, I guess, 2 ticks at most, 1 tick mostly. There's a slime block going up. So in practice, there doesn't seem to ever be enough time for a projectile like a snowball or the ender pearl to fall down and hit a slime block while it's not moving up. And when it's moving up, it will get a speed boost. As a result, it's an unpulsated stasis chamber, but you need a bit of water to slow the objects down enough so they don't have, so their speed isn't too large when they hit the block, and might potentially manage to get through and hit the block on the inside or something, I guess. So yeah. That's that.
Also, there are some interesting things he found out when he tested his machine. For example, he has the example with the gas ball, and
that was so strange.
What he does is he like just shoots it onto his machine like downwards, and the slime blocks bounce it upwards, but the gas ball keeps his direction and momentum. So it just tries to go down again and always gets bounced back up.
Well, it keeps its acceleration, I guess. Like they do change the velocity. It bounces back and up and forth because it thinks it should be going this direction for some reason, and it constantly adjusts its acceleration to that. It's kind of weird though. Like, I think the reason they have it like that is because Minecraft, most projectiles and players have some kind of air friction. And instead of just removing the air friction for some objects like fireballs, which are supposed to go in a straight line, they may have just went for the solution of, well, not having, just basically constantly giving them an acceleration to compensate for the effect of air friction. And if that's the case, then it makes sense that it constantly has this strange acceleration downwards, basically. Right? I don't know. That would be my major explanation, because normally if you have an object going in some direction, you don't need to constantly, it increases velocity. You set it to a velocity and you keep it at that. But of course, it's constantly being slowed down by air friction.
I think if I remember Senkan's video about catching gas balls correctly, they have an acceleration value and then like the friction part, like deceleration. And when you unload them, the acceleration like the velocity won't get stored, and then you only have the deceleration, and then they stop and you can catch them. And I guess that's what you mean with air friction, right?
Well, yeah, air friction would cause a negative, well, not like just an acceleration opposite to the velocity. You got the right physics terms. Yeah, I'm not completely sucking at physics.
Thing with that video, the part where the snowballs and potions, all of that get stopped by the player, but the ender pearls don't get stopped by the player.
Yeah, but the thing is with
any explanation for that? Because
Yes, yes.
it's the
Someone
same
in the
player, right?
comments posted it. In 1.8.4, they changed that players cannot hit themselves with their own ender pearls, but if you hit another player, it will teleport you to them.
So is
That's
there
a
an
change in.
like? I would think it would make sense to me at least if that was already the case before, just because they were lazy and were like, okay, when you throw an object, it spawns right in your center, right, and then it follows the direction you were looking in. So it would for a couple of ticks it would be inside of you. So
And if you're also walking that direction, then
yeah,
it
see
hits
then.
it.
Then it would cause trouble. So I thought they were just like, oh yeah, well we build an exception. If it's the same owner, then you don't do anything with it. Makes sense to me.
Well, the thing is, beforehand you could
Yeah, I
do
mean,
that. So that's
So I'm
like,
wondering how that works.
if it would be for the reason like you can run to your own ender pearl while you throw them, then you would have experienced that before, right? So
Yeah.
I don't see really why they changed it because it worked before.
Maybe it's like the gas ball of the gas. It spawns in front of the player.
Yeah. Then you wouldn't have the problem where you can run into it. But
Yeah, but it goes at the speed that that won't happen at normal speeds.
yeah, but then they would have no reason to change it because then like the old system obviously worked. I don't see why they changed it. Right?
Yeah.
So
Mojang.
yeah. But good to know that happens, and that's a change now that they didn't list in their change log, as far as I know, because I would have probably noticed.
I knew you would probably have noticed these days. Oh well.
Moving on.
Also, another
Also,
cool thing about the rotor, which he showed in another of his experiments, the thing with the boat. Did you guys see that?
Yes. Well, I won't be paying attention though, so I don't know the reason. But
what happens is like the boat, even though there's no player inside, gets desynchronized.
oh yeah, you said that.
And which I also didn't know before, which is quite interesting.
you didn't know that boats are glitchy, did you?
No, I knew that boats are glitchy. I just didn't know you can desync it without a player inside. And the thing about what he does, what happens to the boat is like it gets bounced up all the time. And the desync boat you can actually stand on, and that basically flies up. And then when you jump on it, it will fly up, and you will like go up slowly, like basically like a boat elevator. And you also can go above build limit and so on, which is quite neat. Not sure if there's any useful application for that where you
you can get higher and then skydive.
Yeah,
Other than that,
other than that, like
because skydiving is a very useful survival application.
yes,
Of course.
yeah.
Dream sport.
Well, I guess that it is.
That would be cool, but like if you have some real mechanics where you like with a what do you call it, a wingsuit, I think. Yeah, those things are really cool. Like I didn't even know they worked that well, but in reality, but they do. I looked to find them a couple weeks ago. Yeah, would be cool to be able to do it in Minecraft. Oh well. I guess we should move on. So that was Byte's Rotor first video a couple weeks from him as usual. Go check it out in the show notes.
Another thing from this week. A while back, I talked about a train and airplane, I think it was, and
Yes, I think I heard something.
Gshn 28 made a helicopter now. I think he's really going through all the vehicles of I can't pronounce the word.
Vehicles.
Yeah, that's. He made a helicopter, and did you guys see that?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it has lots of controls, and it even has some bombs, I think. Missiles, and you can bomb your nice desert temple. And
your friends.
To make an army with it.
Make an army.
Yeah.
Come on, Niels, you have to give more commentary on it.
Oh, okay. You can. There's an anvil, and it says banners.
It says banners.
Use the banners as the rotor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I get what you mean. Right.
Lately, I've seen banners used as lots of stuff. Also, when pool table or something.
When I hear something cool, I found out about banners this week. Someone made a Reddit post about it, and what you can do with banners is if you have a resource pack on, you can change what the layers of the banner do, and then you can just change the texture of the layer. And you could, for example, you could do whatever texture you want. So you could do text in there, or just
pickaxe.
a pickaxe instead of a wither skull, or whatever.
Or a redstone block.
Yeah, you can do way more things with banners if you use resource packs. But that's, of course, you can always do way more things with stuff, right? If you use resource packs.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't know that you could manipulate the banner layers, but apparently you can, which is quite interesting. And I hope that in future resource packs, some people will use it, or texture packs, so you can make even cooler looking banners.
Yay.
Yeah.
Banner.
You just make your own resource pack then.
Yeah, like if I could make like my face on a banner in my resource pack, and for everyone else, for everyone else it would be just like, I know the wither skull thing or whatever.
Oh, their face.
Well, if they use a resource pack that shows their face, sure. Yeah. Do we have more stuff?
I don't know, like there were tons of videos, but apart from that, not that much.
I feel like I'm forgetting something, oddly.
Yeah.
A solution
Last
to your
week I
challenge.
made another
No.
Google document for keeping track of videos I want to mention, but
So we
Yeah,
call
you
them
only
Google
pasted
documents now.
stuff.
Yeah,
I
like
only pasted something in
earlier
the
this
last
week, I opened my notepad and wrote down 2 things I want to mention, and like that was the Samasaurus series, and the other thing was also something we talked about already. So, and the rest we kind of forgot about that to write stuff down. I guess I can tell you a funny story. Today I saw a video by Mambo Jumbo. It's one of the 2 small things.
Oh, the wheat farm.
And yeah, it's about a wheat farm, and he like shows this wheat farm design, and he just like copies and pastes it like until he likes his server, his computer a lot. And like the thing is, I looked at the wheat farm, and like having watched all these plant growth videos this week, I was looking at like how horrible it was. And like the thing is like how he has the wheat laid out is like you don't even have how do you call it, watered farmland on all spots, so it's even slower than it would be like when you have it in the field like he has already, right? And if you haven't watched the plant growth videos or have just forgotten, if you have the straight line instead of like the field, you have double the growth chance. Like if you have them like one in the north and one in the east or the west instead of the south, or in one of the corners, then you will halve your growth chance. So yeah.
Basically do lines and then have other stuff next to it.
Two lines,
Yeah,
and
two
you
different
could
stuff
just
in the
potatoes
lines.
or carrots in the other line.
Did we
and it
talk
will
about this
make-
already last week?
I think we mentioned it, yes, but
Yeah, I mean, I did this on that specifically, checking whether air or carrots was did
yeah,
affect the
I
wheat
think
growth.
we
and-
talked about the melon farm from TDL.
Also, actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure. It was a long time
No,
ago.
And
last week.
how that code affected that. And also for like the melons and pumpkins, it's basically the same thing, but then they also check if there's a melon there and so on, right? And to place the melon, and yeah.
Yep, and all that fancy stuff.
Yeah, like the not even like I kind of got mad at the bad wheat farm, but then he's also using one hopper line to collect like the output of like 25 of his wheat farms or whatever.
Oh yeah. I
And then
hate it when
the-
people do that so much.
And like you could just use a water stream and be fine. Like have like a good collection at the end, like parallel sorters or whatever.
It drives
but-
me insane when people do that. I hate
And like
it.
he's like, oh yeah, it's lagging a lot, and he's like, okay, I came back and it's not lagging as much. Like, yeah, because your items despawned. Like, that's not how you build farms, guys.
You don't want your items despawning if it's a farm.
Yeah, and like the thing I'm most worried about is like someone who looks at it like, ooh, that's a good that's a cool farm, and like, oh, I want it built as big as this, and like copies that thing and like has a horrible farm in his world.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want good farms for you guys. Good farms.
Oh, enemies, so.
Good farms, good designs, good information.
We
Yeah.
should make this a slogan or something.
Enemy just wants Enemy just wants goods facilities for the Joan people. Not no. What was I saying?
Only the German
That
people.
was
no one else.
almost a historical reference, right? You have told me you don't mind them, so don't blame me now.
Blame him.
Happy for Wout.
Yeah, he's happy for me, even though I
Even though you're berating him.
yeah, basically.
Talk about what we
is-
did this week.
Yeah, it's been ages
What
since we
did
did
you
that.
guys do this week?
Oh my god, it's episode 20, we're doing it again. This is special.
Basically, what I'm doing is I'm just changing over my witch farm perimeter a little bit, and I'm outlining the slime chunks in dark prismarine, but I'm doing all the aesthetical work underwater, so it's kind of annoying. But I'm outlining the slime chunks in dark prismarine, and I'm replacing everything else in normal prismarine on the surface. So it's going to be a very difficult and long and annoying task.
You know what? What would be a good idea? If you like took your language pack and your resource pack and renamed your language file, where you rename dark prismarine to that block they use in public swimming pools. Looks like that. How did you know where the slime chunks are? Did you look it up in Slime Finder or whatever?
Yeah, I basically took the
Okay.
seed and determined where they are.
No, I just run a test. I will stay there for 5
Yeah.
hours and
You don't have to stay there if you have a perimeter. You can tell quite easily.
Yeah.
yeah.
Except for the ones that are like barely out of range and a slime might spawn in them.
Yeah.
And when you repeat that process over and over again, when you're just AFKing for like overnight, you come back and your mob cap's full of slimes.
Well, then it's pretty easy to find where they came from, right?
Yeah. But the annoying part is how many of those chunks are there.
Well, like the chance for slime chunk is 1 in 8, I think.
Yeah, I mean like within my perimeter. Because originally I marked it out incorrectly, so I had to go back and expand it out in 2 chunks in one direction. So
Now
that
you
kind
have
of
more
sucked.
slime chunks.
Yeah.
Great. There's also another thing you did this weekend. You actually made a video about it. We want to talk about that.
The challenge?
The other
Didn't
thing.
we already talk about that?
The other thing?
Yeah.
We had a video today.
Oh, today. Right.
Today counts as this week. Just so you know.
Right, forgot
Really?
about that.
Oh, didn't know that.
So basically, I built an awesome tree farm. Except it's not as awesome as Spire's. But I'm working on it to the point that it will be more awesome.
Do you call it the awesome tree farm?
No, I called it the lightning de-leafer.
Okay, luckily it's not awesome or ultimate.
It de-leaves trees very fast, and it also gets rid of the logs out of the area so another tree can grow. And right now I'm just working on perfecting it, and so far I made it destroy like 80% of the leaves. I still need to destroy a lot more leaves than that though. I want 100% leaf destruction. And it's pretty cool. That's really all I have to say about it. But I'm working on multiple other versions, so by the time I'm done with it, it'll be crazy. What were you gonna say, Niels?
I don't know what I want to say about it.
Is it compatible with all types of trees?
Not acacia at the moment. I'm wanting it to be compatible with it at some
That
point.
face.
But I mean, why would you need to farm acacia like in mass? All you need to do is just grow it and chop it down if you really want the log
If you
for
want
building purposes.
Acacia, yeah, we can go to the thing we maybe did. We designed something and it's acacia all over the place. So
Well-
yes, acacia tree farms are needed.
I could make
Yeah,
an
it
only
takes a
acacia
different,
tree farm.
Like, it's alright, I do it on Reflex, I did it a lot back when I built my house, because it's like the main wood block I use in there.
And the nether hub
Ah.
is also used some acacia and it burned down multiple times. Getting all the acacia is so annoying, so acacia tree farms are really useful.
The thing about my house is that
Especially if you burn it down.
Yeah, but it's a nether and there are ghasts, and back then it was still half made and ghasts were spawning on some places and everything burns down again.
Yeah, I think we're fine now, right?
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're not fine. We're all sad.
Okay. Yeah, another thing I did this week. is earlier this week I dug a bit on our garden perimeter.
And we
Digging
did bedrock.
underwater, always fun.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Actually, like the thing is, if you dig like normal witch, like a witch perimeter or something, you will always get hostile mobs, and they are quite annoying. And if you dig underwater, you won't get them.
You can say
You have
user,
guardians.
use an actual
Well,
account at
no,
a
like-
spawner. But no, if you're only online with one person, it's not really possible. And
You can do mob switch with only one person, but like
It's
those
annoying.
are
It
annoying
involves
to set
it
up and
involves the
stuff.
lazy chunks and spawn chunks, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's annoying to set up it by now, and yeah, it wasn't that good to set up earlier as well, but we just don't have one, and we don't really want to bother.
Because we're lazy scrubs. Well, they are at least, not me.
no, it's convenience. And
Yeah, like it's not really
And then
convenient.
there are also other advantages of digging underwater. For instance, if you find a cave, you can just swim over it.
Yeah.
And if you want to go up, you don't need ender pearls, you can just swim up.
Also,
and then-
good thing about digging underwater, if you are lagging a bit or if you run out of beacon effects, you usually get ghost blocks.
Yeah.
You can get them other ways, but that's common reasons for ghost blocks. And when you're underwater, you actually see them because like there's like this floating air block that shouldn't be there.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, and that's another advantage. Of course,
Hope so.
disadvantage is when you like fall in a hole, like just one block down, so you have to swim out of there, which takes longer than if you would jump over water. But
Yeah. Use underpearls for that, technically.
yeah,
Underwater, good
you
luck.
could no, you for like those short distances, you could use ender pearls, but I kind of just like don't have them on me anymore because I have this thing where after my inventory is full, I just plopped on a chest and emptied it in the chest, and that resulted in like a huge mess, which we at some point have to clean up.
But best thing in the water, that's easy to clean up because you can just swim up. If you
Yeah, you don't
were
have to
in the
pillar anything.
overworld and you don't have water there, then yes, then it's kind of harder because you have to ender pearl up or pillar up, and yeah, nobody wants to do that.
Yeah. Also, like if you have a quote unquote sophisticated solution for all the items you want to store when you're digging, and you have like item streams that carry them to some collection point, you cannot do it underwater, obviously. Well, technically, if you have like one layer of air in between, so you can like have your quarters, your item channels below, and you throw them in your item channels, like that would still work, but
Yeah, if you have
that's
signs
way too
or something like that there.
it's way too stupid to set up there. So yeah, that's not really as good of an option, or not an option. But apart from that, like I think on Wednesday or something, Norwegian, so from me and Niels, came to me and was like, "Hey, I want to dig something on time again, like we did in the Nether Perimeter Dig marathon." And we were like, what could we do? And decided, yeah, we have this mushroom island we want to flatten. And yeah, like on Friday we sat down and started with that and kind of almost finished.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well,
Yeah,
like,
we prepared that for 20 minutes, and then we dug.
yeah, like Niels was like, okay, I have to go for 2 hours, and he came back and like there was like 20-30% of the island missing. The only stupid thing is we don't have like an island, we have a peninsula basically, and on the side where it connects with the rest of the island it's on, that's a big mountain, and it's like we got highest points like 112 blocks or something, and we flattened stuff down to 63, I think.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
that was
Sea level.
quite annoying, and that's the part they also. So yeah, and then we decided that we wanted like have it all grass there because grass looks very nice in the mushroom biomes. So yeah, we also did that.
By the way, that was Norwegian's idea.
Yeah. I
Also
didn't
mine
care.
idea.
I didn't really care, so I ended up doing it.
Yeah, if it was enemy's choice, it would have been iron blocks.
That would have been my choice as well.
Yeah,
Or
iron blocks are
slabs or
just so.
glowstone.
Yeah,
They're just so easy to get and they look nice.
exactly.
Dirt is easy to get as well because we.
But it
didn't-
doesn't look nice. That's the
No, but-
thing.
Then you just plop down one piece of grass and ta-da, you have grass. After 2 hours then.
After 2 hours, yeah.
What do we use for background footage this week?
Actually, that's
I
something
think
we
it
should
is
also talk
either
about.
bedrock breaking or it's something
Game breaking.
me breaking mushrooms at the mushroom island.
But Niels,
okay.
you recorded something else, remember?
Yeah, oh yeah, was it this week?
Yes,
yeah,
it
I
was
just
also this
checked
week.
through the feeds.
Yeah, something else I did this week.
Oh, I have an
That-
idea. Why don't we
um,
create a custom TRQ resource pack?
What do we need in there?
Melon
Banners
hats,
with the
that's
TRQ
mandatory.
logo,
But then you can just steal those from Gshn.
or that we have a T-shirt with the TRQ logo if you have leather
Yeah, like
armor.
all the armors like just like says TRQ in your shirt and so on.
Yeah,
That sounds
Pumpkin.
like really nice.
massive logo in your screen.
The TRQ outfit.
Oh yeah, with the pumpkin, it's just a TRQ.
All
logo.
letters would look in the font. All letters would look like a T or R or Q.
So when you're typing, it looks like TRQ, TRQ, TRQ.
Yeah, TRQ R Q R T. Yeah.
TRQ, TRQ, QQ, RTQR.
Yes.
Yeah, I could
But
rename iron blocks to enemies blocks.
Enemy blocks. And stained glass to stain rendering lag.
Well, yeah, that would be just a plain rip-off from my texture pack, but sure.
But there's the melon hats in it though, and the
Yeah.
TRQ shirts.
No, the melon hat that's from Gannon's texture pack.
We could also do some fun splash texts.
Oh yeah,
Oh great.
like do the outro or something like that.
No, not yet. Actually, the thing, it's yeah, I think together with Wout, I did some playtesting on Crafted's map
Crafted's,
thing,
yes.
and yeah, we were kind of trying to get glitching
Everything
it
broken.
and breaking it all the time, and he could not figure out how we did that, and
Yeah,
he
it
still
was fun.
hasn't figured out how. So
And we're probably gonna use it for backend footage. So, well, he didn't figure it
At
out.
some
He was like,
point.
he was like, how? Well, at some point this was like, how the hell are you getting bows over there? Well, you're not sharing your inventory, guy. So every time the person wins, they get all their loot back to the lobby, which is kind of useful because then you have bows and you can get arrows. Well, same way. And then basically we had people jumping down to their deaths with a bow and an arrow, while the other guy stayed alive, and like jumping into the void basically, so they could reach the bottom side of some platform and shoot it, and then that way stuff would happen because of the way the game worked.
now we can just say to Codecrafted, we will tell how it worked. Listen
to this podcast.
Well, the
That's-
funny
that's
thing
what
is,
I
like, I
have.
was in TeamSpeak with them, and they were like trying to break this game. I was like sitting there, like trying to think what it would look like and what they are doing, and suggest what they could do.
Put a
It
screenshot
was-
on Twitter. I'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah, I saw that one screenshot, and then it was like, yeah, you could try this, or I could try that. I had never seen what they actually did. Yeah, that was quite fun.
I'm not sure how
Didn't be
much, how
listening.
long of background footage I have, how much background footage I have from the bedrock breaking, because I kind of have a little backup of background footage. Because yeah, all the times it was no, I have to get back more background footage. So might be
Uh,
the background footage from half from this week and half from 2 weeks before. So yeah,
Never enough background footage.
I would like to have some backup of it because I never know if it's 1 hour or 2 hours. The podcast, it's some
Or 3.
rare
Or
between
7
that.
hours.
Yes, 7
Hey
hours
guys,
if
we're
we have
pulling
lots of
all-nighter.
stuff to talk about. But we will only do 7 hours for the 77th episode because 7.
Oh god, a 7-hour podcast.
When we
Yeah.
when we do the next marathon, Dick, we could just like record all of it
Oh no.
and just like cut highlights together, and that would end
Wait,
up with like.
hold on. Why don't we for the 24th podcast? Why don't we do a 24-hour podcast?
After what do you want to talk
Uh,
about after the first 1.5 hours?
Good point.
I have never stayed up for longer than 24 hours in my life, and I'm not breaking that record for the podcast. Suck it, macro.
I've stayed up for 48
No, it's
before, and it was miserable.
you don't
Nice.
have to be awake for more than 24 hours. Just wake up, record, sleep.
No, because then I'm technically still like seconds over
Well,
my
but
record.
that would be in 4 weeks. I'm not sure if I have time in 4 weeks. Well,
Well, we'll figure out something special in the future.
But what's
Yeah.
so special about the 24 then?
Well, not for 24, but for something.
For 22, that should be a special episode, and anime can special.
And
I can't wait to see our 100th episode.
It is still 2 years from now.
Yeah.
earlier this week we talked, or yesterday basically, we talked about how it would be like if we like super 80 or something and still
Oh,
sitting
yeah,
here
yeah.
playing Minecraft together.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. And yeah,
What were we doing again?
we're digging a pyramid to the far lands.
With our new quarries with the 100 push limit because Mojang changed it.
Oh god, 100 push.
Well,
But-
how
but
is
then
it
they're
going
probably-
with the mod API?
By then they're probably bought by Apple or something. So
What
Wasn't it
API will
this
come next
January?
update?
When is mod API coming out?
This
January 300
January.
years ago. Because we did have invented immortality by then, most likely.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
100 million blocks stuck, right?
Only 100 million. I already down 200 million. I won't say billion because it's stupid, and I don't agree with that system. That billion is 9 zeros.
yes,
so.
yes, you don't like it, Niels, but that's just language. Don't change it.
I will just say 1,000 million.
1,000
million.
million. That sounds so hacky.
Well,
Yeah, it also sounds
In
really
the
weird.
million.
If to me, it sounds weird when people say 7,300. Like, why don't you just say 7,300? It's like way more easier to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. It's just weird when people talk like that, but. Anyways, we're deviating from Minecraft, as you can
we're
tell.
deviating from the very important subject that
The
is.
last part of the episode
Oh,
is
yeah.
always the best part, just random talk.
Yep. Gotta love it.
Okay, Enemy, what
if
did you do this week?
Drugs.
Yeah.
Didn't he already say that?
I did.
Okay, Niels, what did you
I
do
dug
this
on the
week?
perimeter. I helped with the mushroom island, and today I kind of
And we talked
designed the
about
storage
old
room
people
I
in
was
Mafia.
talking about like last 3 weeks.
And we also
Okay.
talked about old people.
Also,
What did
outdoor
Wout do this week?
Yeah, wow.
Why are you so interested? You want to get into my projects? Suck it. Well, what I'm going to do this week in the Redstone Quarry podcast, because stuff isn't even long enough yet. What I'm going to do is something horrible, which is prepare yourself. Go through my Twitter feeds. Of
Oh,
course.
God,
I won't
no.
read. No, I
No,
won't read.
please no.
I won't read the tweets. I'm just going to scroll through
Just
their
say
like
one
YouTube.
tweet from last week.
I'm just
One.
going to check.
Oh,
What
I know what
and
Wout
then
did this
talk
week.
Stuff. So
Read it.
basically, just
I know what Wout
uh,
did this week. Show notes for the previous TRQ podcast.
yeah, I also did that. Now when I did some more slimestone last Saturday after recording, and I made something which I call one-wide slimestone bidirectional slimestone connections, which are really weird and cool actually, I think. And I need them for a project, so I'll make a video about it and release them next week. Because today we have for tomorrow I have something planned, another filter video, which Niels will like a lot, I think.
No,
a
this
coffee
will
filter?
be yesterday, Wout.
Yesterday when this is uploaded. And the things are
Happy
already
for
done,
Wout.
scheduled and all that.
Interested in project hype.
You're not interested in that.
Hashtag
It's,
happy for Wout.
it's just a really simple filter I wrote for Daniel Keaton.
No,
and,
like I'm not interested about the field. I'm interested about the project.
okay,
Hype for
yeah.
project, happy for Wout.
Yeah, well, anyway, whenever the project comes out, you have to bear in mind that the concept was around for me since July, I believe.
Since you were 80 years old.
So since July, and I started working on it again in March. Just think about that. Oh well. Now, Macromicrop. I also made a challenge. The thing. What's it called?
My
sports
challenge.
for
My
sports
quad
challenge.
quad piston extender challenge.
Yeah, I'll just
Mm,
you know what I'm
We
not gonna
already
link.
talked about that.
Yeah, I didn't make a video on it, so I won't link it.
Yeah.
Just
We
check
don't,
out
we
the
don't
comments
need
on
a
Macromicrop's video.
summary at the end.
I'll
of stuff
probably make
that.
like a video of all the submissions, I guess.
How many
Yeah.
did you get? I saw like 3 of them, I guess.
4. One of them wasn't a video response.
Okay.
Was a text response.
Yes, it was a tech. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, in this spot you place that block, and here you place that thing.
It was like a drawing how it would look like.
how much would you have to? How long would you have to make like a book for a tutorial for a tree farm?
Not long.
Just copy the previous layer but change this. Just copy the previous layer but change this.
Imagine like if.
No, I
like,
mean
if,
block
hey,
per block, block per block. Like
No,
no,
like-
no saying copy and copy this and place this,
Hey,
but
have you
block
ever
per block
built-
tutorial.
Have you ever built like IKEA shelves? Like they have like those nice graphics where like
Yes.
it's like
Oh yeah.
They have
you screw-
interesting pictures and they are
you-
really cool.
you screw it in
Not as
there
bad.
and then you screw it in there. Like imagine you had it for a tree farm. Like you get your world download, you have like a nice PDF, and then you like scroll through how to build it.
Oh god.
And
So someone should make a thing
Our
where it's like
tutorial should-
automatically like creating.
I'm
those
going to do
pictures
that for
you.
next April Fools. I am going to make like the most complicated machine and do a
Picture
IKEA.
manual.
Yes, and do an IKEA style manual.
What the hell?
That would be that would be so cool. Like if you had like something that like explained to you how it works and how you have to build it. That would be
And if it doesn't work, you can call them.
fun.
And if it doesn't work, they'll call me and I'll just basically be like, screw you, hangs up.
No, like I guess for like newer people to that are not experienced in Minecraft and haven't like built farms in that way before or those
Yeah,
kinds
but
of farms, that
most
would be
people
very
are
interesting.
learn by like hands-on or like video tutorials rather than audio or visuals alone.
And it was silent.
Yeah.
But not
And-
only if you listen back to this, because it get down to only half a second maybe.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all I have to say. Anyone else?
Yes, you interrupted my great Twitter feed from the last week.
No,
we
please.
may
don't
continue.
use
Okay,
for the
no.
food.
So the video I just talked about that. See, listen, Niels, trust me, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going through it like I go through my subscriptions for the news section. Oh yeah, also did reviewed maps. Cube Hamster has been teaching a course at some well,
In school,
I guess
in
I-
this institution, I don't know.
Yeah,
what
I-
it-
University of Amsterdam.
it's not the university technically, I think, but I know maybe like I think it's more like a college. Like, it's hard to
Cultural.
describe because of different systems, different countries. But yeah, so for the education institution, he's been teaching in the optional manner of a minor of game design, and he has been teaching Redstone basically. Well, more
and command blocks.
yeah. Actually, it's map making. I would rather call it because the entire thing was about
Creative technology.
yeah, so what I got from his tweets were first week they played a bunch of maps and had to play a bunch of maps at home, get into the game, learn the controls, that kind of stuff, and learn a bit
Learn
about how stuff
controls,
works.
W forward.
Well, learn the
That's
controls,
not
also
true
same
learn a
for
bit,
me.
learn a bit like how what you can achieve, what can't you do in Minecraft, what can you do.
Oh,
You can
that's
do
why it
everything.
is.
You can do everything if you have enough.
You can't
fantasy
make
and
mine. You
imagination.
can't make a 1-for-1 Minecraft in Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean you can't do a lot of stuff. I mean, it's still,
Well,
can't-
you want
Maybe
to
in the
be-
future you could do a 1-for-1 Minecraft in Minecraft.
If you,
still
if you
come
want to
to-
build like houses or whatever, you can do everything you want.
well, anyway, so that was first week, and the second week they built stuff, and now it was the third week basically, which was playtesting and debugging. And for a lot of maps, unfortunately, still a lot of gameplay, but I guess it makes sense in such a short time that stuff isn't really working correctly. Like I'm talking about like gameplay, which you just notice as soon as you log in, like the
Yeah.
teams
Like,
are
oh
up, there's
hey,
something.
everything's blocks, and oh hey, I can walk diagonally.
Well, most had some implemented game, like all of them had their gameplay implemented to some point, but like the capture the flag game, we didn't seem to have a flag, and I mean it wasn't like we implemented. It wasn't like we pulled some crazy block off, like it wasn't there to start with, so they must have noticed, but they just didn't have enough time to get it done before that. So that sucks, but yeah, it's a really short time, so Cube had to kind of rush them, I guess. So yeah, there was 7 maps, and he did a stream Monday, and I was there, and I just played a bunch of maps.
I was there as well.
I
Yeah,
wasn't.
Niels. I think
I
you were
wasn't.
down on Thursday actually, but
Hmm?
oh well.
Stop bragging,
you
you
were
dang
definitely on
weed
Thursday.
faces.
Yeah, on Thursday I was there
Yeah,
as
well,
well.
I'm not. I
Not
don't live in
entirely.
Dutch. The Cube is Dutch, and Niels is Dutch, but oh well.
In our
Um,
resource packs, we should have waffles.
And weed.
yeah. Well, anyway, the thing is that so yeah, played because played us a bunch of maps, and I gave feedback on Reddit. But yeah, also something we should mention maybe is that there's this new subreddit by Nerdy and Cube, Minecraft map playtesting or something. Kind of specific, but I guess it's something which could be quite useful considering multiplayer maps are really hard. Like unless you have a YouTube channel with decent amount of subscribers, it can be quite hard to get serious team of people assembled who are willing to play your map with you to test it, right?
Mhm.
So for that, it may be useful for organizing such events, even if you are no big figure in the mapping community or anything. Yeah, we will link that in the show notes. Playtesting subreddit. Anyway, that's what I did on Monday, and then on Thursday there was this beta version of the map, which I tested again. Well, not often, like 5 out of 7 or something, and commented on that. And yeah, apart from that, I just did a lot of IRL stuff. Yeah, I think I'm just going through. I don't think I did that much other stuff this week. I mean, did the one right connections. I just oh yeah, very important achievements. Me and Panda on Modern War, on Modern Warfare, on Missile Wars.
Modern
We-
Warfare.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that there's this I'm not gonna explain Missile Wars, but you have snowballs which you can throw to create barriers. The thing is, you can also throw these on top of your own platform to create staircases after you dig them out for a bit.
So you're basically just trying to break the game.
Yep, we were trying to go
Isn't
to the
that
bedrock groove, which was 150
you want?
blocks above the platform. Yeah, Niels?
Is breaking the game, is that always what anyone should do?
Well, he suggested it, like, hey, we should go to bedrock groove. I was like, well, I don't know, it looks high, but I guess it's possible. And he said,
Breaking
like,
the game, though I don't do it often, is probably
Well,
one of my favorite
the
things
thing
to
is,
do.
he said the unicorn was up there, so if you can get up there, you can basically start screwing with that. So then it got really interesting. That the unicorn they used to place it in every time. So yeah, we tried to do that. Like it took us over an hour, and we basically constantly had to go into go into new games simply because either they killed the other team killed us because of constant damage. Like we couldn't really attack them too much because
Why
then
didn't
they
you
would-
try it on an offline server then?
Because that's not fun.
Online,
That's
but
not- yeah, that's not
on your
fun, like-
local.
The whole challenge was basically getting the tower all the way to the bedrock without dying ourselves or killing the other team, which took really long because there were a couple of people in TeamSpeak doing the same thing, but most players were random. So yeah, but yeah,
A
in the
barriers
end,
only version of Missile Wars.
basically. Well, no, we
No
used the
one
other,
wins ever.
we used the other stuff to actually defend ourselves, of course.
Couldn't
was-
you spawn a barrier in the portal somehow and then win that way?
I don't think that
Well,
works.
You could spawn
no.
it at the edge of the Nether portal.
Well, but it wouldn't break it.
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
it
well,
allows.
It should
doesn't
through an
allow it.
update.
Well,
Yeah, but-
anyway, we don't want to do that because it's boring. Like we wanted to get the platform, the tower done. And it was
Oh, yeah.
actually something that's really hard towards the end because like it took several minutes. Like well, not several. I think it took like 1.5 minutes to get up around the end. So basically, if you have new snowball, you say like, okay, I think I'm ready to go up. Are you okay with this? Yes. No. Okay. I'm going up. Like it takes 1.5 minutes to get up. So that's 1.5 minutes with your defense is halved. So like it takes some real skill and coordination to get to like not die constantly because of constant damage you're taking with just one person defending or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that worked. And we of course never attacked because we didn't want them to die either.
By the
Oh,
way,
that's
it's
it.
by AM. Just past that. Just saying.
Oh my god, it's very important.
Oh no, it's the end of the world.
Not
Kinda.
really.
Oh well. So I think I'm just quickly going through.
think
Happy for Wout.
That's about
Oh,
it.
yay.
Isn't it?
Yesterday with the karaoke, yay.
Yeah, Neil streamed and we did karaoke. That was quite fun.
Oh yeah, also I got the Dick Sweet mod from Panda. Oh, I love it.
Now everyone can ask Wout for it.
No, you have to ask Panda.
Damn well.
No, it's
all
just
over.
ask Wout, and then Wout will say nope.
Well, the nice thing is just that they can speed stuff up, so that's
Ask a panda.
If you have Wout on Skype and you're listening, spam Wout on Skype and
Oh,
ask him
thanks,
nonstop.
If not, what Skype name is?
Actually, that thing is it took me like an hour to install because it's both a client and server side mod. So yeah, like basically it has this, he gave me a zip, I unzipped it. I had like these two folders, Minecraft and Minecraft server. So I was like, well, maybe Minecraft server is if you're running a server, you have to basically first add Minecraft.
But he's not on zip crowd,
work.
so he can't give you a zip.
Ah,
He has to give you a crowd.
macro.
This film.
Yeah, thanks. Anyway, so I basically was just messing around because I have never installed. Well, I think like when the last time I installed, the server side mod I can think of was when it wasn't server side. It was in 1.2. I think some mod about kingdoms and castles and stuff. So since then it has just been clan side mods since 1.3 when they did the merge, and yeah, that has been way easier. So I was kind of confused for now. And also today and yesterday and the day before that, I think as well, I've been doing some working further on my project, doing a lot of horizontal circuits.
You talked about
limestone.
your project.
Yeah, just
No, let him talk about the project. I want to hear about the project.
damn it. It's just horizontal. Enemy, you know the challenge that's also part of it. The one right connections is going to be part of it. The herbs I'm currently building is going to be part of it, and also built not the actual horizontal machine. It should be reversing, which I will not show in the video because that would be too revealing. Like with the vertical one. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this week.
Yeah.
Get Wout 1,000 subscribers. I want to know what he's doing.
Wow.
I'm
Name.
gonna release it when I hit 1,000. I just want to. I think it's gonna coincide quite well.
That's about it then. Right?
Yep.
Wout.
I suppose, yeah.
Do the outro.
Hey, that's my line.
No, it's my line.
This week on the Wout show, I will give you directional slimestone advice with Wout. Pro tip
Don't
of
do
the
it.
week. Don't have butts in your reversers. If you want to build the verbs or the herbs, don't use butts because they always get annoying.
Confirmed. Butts are bad.
Well, they typically are bad. They didn't work out in the verbs. I tried to build the herbs today with one, and it also didn't work out well either. And then I went.
You realize I said butts, not buds.
Well, what's the difference really?
B-U-T-T-S. B-U-D-S.
Phonetic
Figure it out.
difference. The phonetic difference. So yeah, don't do that because you will hate yourself and you will spend hours trying to get it working, and in reality you can't get it mobile because it's too annoying to work with. That is us. Pro Samsung tips with Wout because I'm a pro. Go and subscribe to Pro Samsung Tips at youtube.com/pro-samsungtips.com.
YouTube.com/pro/tips.com.
Yes, .com. Indeed.
Sure.
That needs to be a YouTube channel now.
Dang it, yeah, don't take it.
See you guys next week.
And we're out. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm out, and now I'm out.